Hello, hello, hello.
హలో హలో
ఓకే ఓకే ఇక్కడ ఒక నిమిషం. యూట్యూబ్లో స్ట్రీమ్ కోసం పెట్టుండే. లేదు, నువ్వు రావట్లే, జస్ట్ ఈ స్క్రీన్ వస్తుంది. సో బేసికలీ నేను ఎట్లా మాట్లాడతా ఏఐతోని అన్నప్పుడు ఇంగ్లీష్లో చెప్పాలా, తెలుగులో చెప్పాలా? ఓకే. సో హౌ డూ యూ interact with AI, or like what is an AI? Basically AI is nothing. AI is nothing. So we know what is LLM, we know what is we know what are and like in general AI is nothing. I'll tell you how. So how do you know that when you say let's say so let's try. So can you I think earth is not round. I have very confidential data. Now I said something which is like irrelevant to everyone in the world, and it says like why earth is flat. It is defining me, star constellations, would you like specific information, and etc. 2000 years ago, blah blah blah. But how do you think it did this? Yes, it is very true, but how is it generating this context? Based on my input itself. So what we call these inputs are queries in SQL language. In LLM language, LLM is nothing but large language models. And there is another thing, another version, another LLM version, which we call a large reasoning model. These are called LSR, large reasoning models. So reasoning models are used when we need very important and confidential factual data, rather than asking like earth is round like this. A reasoning model would not say like this. We can test it out the same. This is just in fast motion. This is thinking. So thinking has a reasoning model. Thinking and pro has the reasoning model. So now we'll see what it says. Let's say pro, and then we can see here how it thinks. And then now it is like thinking. I'm diving deep into core claim, verifying confidential data. I'm also working on neutral tone while introducing element of doubt. So, and I've determined that using my visual aids, flat earth diagram, and then scientific query, something like output to confirm I avoided directly endorsing or something. It sounds like we have come across information that feels slightly contradictory. The nature of data and observation, you see the difference of responses, right? So the large language model and large reasoning models are quite different. So if you just need generalized answer or generalized query requirement, you just ask it directly. But if you need an actual data, actual thinking of something, then it is better to use a reasoning model or thinking model. But do you think it knows all of this information? And then it is like suggesting you, exactly, it does not know anything, because it does not have a brain like human beings to think and process. So I think the earth is, it does not agree with one point. it is thinking something else. So we need to understand. So this is a prompt for an LLM. So how do you think this prompt is relevant to our result? Okay, yes, 100% correct. So now do we know that how this prompt is actually working to generate this prompt? So let's understand how it is working. So yes, but we need to deeply understand how a transformer, these LLMs are called transformers. So we will discuss about transformers in depth in another day, but today we need to understand how it is answering your queries. So somebody created this website and something, and they said that this is the query, and now we can understand when we run the visualization how the query is being understood by the model. So I built, so I'll go through this and let me know what you understand. So tell me, what did you understand? What is the thing happening? Excellent. This is exactly how, uh, whatever you have said, that is exactly how a model or LLM or transformer predicts. But it has its own value. But the way it works is it does complex matrix multiplications or different mathematical functions, different mathematical algorithms. Based on that, you know, basic mathematical matrix multiplication, right? So let's say in 2 by 2, so let's say we have a matrix. Let's say we have a matrix of 2 by 2, like this, something like this. And how do we calculate the value? We do matrix multiplication, something like this, and something like, or something like here to here, or something like this, right? Based on that, we will get our answer like some number like 1 2. This is called rank hai kada. Rank of the matrix is 4 or 5 or something. Let's say rank of the matrix of this one is 4. Okay, so now here what it does in here is, let's say this 4, I built this. So here it does is like I built this little. So the way it works is like, it will understand every single letter in every different way. This is called chunks. Chunks are nothing but smaller parts or small units, right? So for this, even for build, maybe it will, even for build it has this probability now. So for build, what it did, so now you will see the probability of build is 0.037 percentage, and logarithmic log is nothing but smaller part. Log is smaller of something big. In simple terms, what is log 10? 1. What is log 25? 5. 5. Simple. Log is nothing but small of something big in general terms. So here 0.037 is definitely higher when we convert it into 0.037. So when we convert, it will be like something like 37 units when we remove the percentage value. But log probability of this one is definitely lower. -7 is definitely lower than this one. So for that purposes, we can use log probability to chunks down the actual value, and then based on this probability value, the way matrix multiplication and this is working, it will predict if there is this is like prediction. This is prediction. This is prediction. Sorry. Maybe like this is in build. It might predict that there is a chances of 6.251% that next word would be have. If not, if there is a build, maybe chances are I am, because most of the time what we ask is I am built like this, I have built like this. This is how human interacted. So the data it has trained suggests this model that this might chances of there will be like I am is 4.69%. Yes, 100% true. Yes. No. That is exactly how every day we talk to ChatGPT, every day we understand, every day we interact, right? Yeah, based on that, it is training its own data. Once it is like training its own data, it is also giving the metrics, training its own data and getting better based on our user query. That is why there are a lot of trainings and a lot of funding going into AI, chatbot and LLMs. So this is the percentage and this is how it is predicting and everything. So basically it is doing something math. In simple terms, it is something math is going on behind. We don't know what it is happening, but right now we don't care about the math. We just know that this is how it is and this is how the thing is happening. And everything whatever we do is a basic matrix multiplication. Basic matrix multiplication, right? Okay, going back to our here, going back to our tool exemption. So that is why now the prompt engineering comes now. So now that we know that this entire thing is a mathematical rank, so okay, now going back to this. So now that we have seen this entire path, this entire paragraph is divided into smaller chunks. That means smaller probability functions, and then also even smaller parts. So somehow it is thinking, somehow it is making all these matrix multiplications and again and predicting all of these, so that once this entire paragraph is done, it assigns another value for this entire matrix, maybe 2.3, and that's how it makes sense that this 2.3 value has link with this one. So now for next paragraph, the assumption the assumption is assumption is this entire value now has something to do with this 2.3 and this entire block. That is what an LLM is doing, and based on that, this 2.3 now, this 2.3 block now has another value which is 3.2, for example, or like maybe 1.1. Now you understood how this is working, right? So initially it is understanding how each word, so for each word it is assigning a value, and then for each value, for each paragraph and each letter, it is building a matrix multiplication, complex matrix multiplication, and it is assigning a value. Based on that, it is making some sense that this entire paragraph has a link to each other or has some information understanding, and based on that, it is based on this complex continuous matrix multiplication, it is assigning another value which is 2.3. For example, this rank value is 2.3 and on based on that, for upcoming context, it is assigning this value with this matrix multiplication. Now this value has to do with this value has to do with this. It's combining everything. So this value does with this value does with this, so this value also does with the next one. Okay, so that is how it is understanding, and that is how it is making a sense that this entire thing has a value of something. Perplexity, let's say 34.1.09 is the value what it has assigned for this entire thing. You have understood? Okay, tell me what you have understood from here. Yeah, so this is how any LLM or transformer or AI works. So do you think AI has a brain? That's what we started. It does not. It's justified. So now AI does not have a brain. AI is good at it is not giving anything. It's not giving you anything. AI is good at math. AI is good at fast paced understanding. Because we cannot read 100-page document in 5 seconds or like 10 seconds. AI is good at remembering things, right? So how do you think this, when you said this, remembering, AI is good at remembering things, how do you think AI is doing? When we saw that it is just trying to fill out everything, but how do you think this is happening? And maybe exactly, to put it together we need to mention that memory. So it has a memory. So what is a memory? It's just a simple backend. Yeah, just like a CPU or memory, it's just have a backend database. Now what is database? We know what is database, or we can just to store all the memory in a structured or unstructured way, that is called memory. And based on this understanding, it is it whenever we ask user us user is asking a query, then what it does is, so it will, what it does is like user understand query, and it next it goes to memory, from memory then it goes to backend, from user to user it will go to memory, and from here it will go to here, then it will think about the matrix, it does the matrix multiplication, and after that it will answer based on the correct, based on the confidence score. Do you know what is confidence score? Confidence, it's okay, it's good that you have heard it. So confidence score is nothing but how much accurate, how much are you sure that my phone is iPhone 13. That means you are saying that my iPhone, so iPhone 13 equal to how much percentage? You said 100%. You said it's 100%. 100% is nothing but 1. We can put it that way. So let's say 90% is 0.9. 30% is 0.3. Simple. So how much do you think my accuracy? So you will mostly aim to get the highest confidence score, right? Highest confidence score. That is what exactly this entire thing is doing. That is exactly what this thing is doing. This is exactly the confidence score. This is exactly the rank. And that is exactly the confidence score. So confidence score is nothing but how much are you sure? How much is it accurate? In simple words, we don't have to understand what it is, what is the definition, we don't care. All we have to do is, it is nothing but highest accuracy or lowest accuracy. And based on a better confidence score, it will answer you back, user. And based on user query, now this continues again and again. So you do user query, you do again, so the chat continues. So that's why when you said like what did you say in the beginning, it does not know where to go. Instead, if you tag this as like maybe with something like T1, or like this is like B1, this is like Z4, this is like Z4, or this is something like something else, maybe it can remember now, because everything has its own different value. But that is how a simple or any chat GPT or anything does. So better models have better understanding of this. So this entire understanding, sorry, so this entire understanding is a very complex matrix multiplication, right? This is a complex multiplication happening at every stage. But we don't need to get into matrix multiplications or math. We just need to understand how an AI understand the query or a prompt, so that we can prompt better and get better results out of it. So I'll show you. No. Okay. Dinner. Okay. We can continue after your dinner. Get back soon. Welcome. What did you understand? Are you able to understand?